he's one of those interesting athletes that the older he got, the better he got. Of course, the bigger and stronger he got too, but you know, he had hardly scratched the surface at 17 and 18 years old.
He was a really good athlete that went on to do great things. Toughness is something that he brought. I think he had a pretty good sense of humor too.
Back when we played, they would teach centers to snap with two hands, and he had big enough hands. They let him do it with a one.
I mean, he was big, you know, especially back in you know, that's, you know, been, you know, 40 years ago or whatever, almost 50 years, you know, when, you know, you just didn't have that many big people.
In high school, he was probably 6'5", 215, 220, and at Toledo, he was probably up to 225, and probably by the end of his college career was probably 260 or 270. I mean, he grew into a big man. He was a big, raw-boned, powerful athlete. And so he was a really good football player, but in all honesty, where he excelled most was as a wrestler. And he got so good at it that people would come to watch, and they would stick around for the last bout, which was the heavyweight bout, to watch him pick some 250-pound person up and thump him. And that's really, as he got older, that's exactly what he did. He would dominate these other huge people from other schools, and he would just go out and just dominate them. And it was fun to go watch.
Probably one of the stories that most people don't know about him. You know, his senior year, he broke his hand in wrestling, going into the districts, and he was casted. I was with him in the back of the bus on the way to Lancaster for districts, and he literally wore the cast off. Got it to where we could take scissors and cut through it. And he took the cast off on the bus, had his hand taped up, and wrestled.
The biggest legacy that Gary left was that a kid from Nelsonville-York High School can go off in wrestling, compete at the state level, go to wrestle in college. And Nelsonville has had a lot of success in wrestling, but he was at the very, very earliest stages of it. So that's his legacy. As big and strong as Jerry Barber was, he always was a nice man as well. Everyone in his class knew that. And we had a lot of good athletes, and he was the biggest and strongest of all of us.
The number one thing that I would want to say about Gary is, you know, Gary was just a very, very, very good, humble person who never looked for accolades. He went about his own business and created a great life for he and his family.